Hey, I'm Cyclone, and today I want to share with you my full week 1 strategy for the league start, as well as a tiny look ahead at what's going to be coming on my channel week 2 and beyond. Now, my big goal for week 1 is going to be farming a Headhunter. It's going to synergize well with my build, which by the way you can see I uploaded that earlier as well. And also it's just going to be really well with Ultimatum, which I want to farm, and Affliction, which I want to farm. Affliction, I'm gonna be doing every map. I'm definitely gonna be in the Affliction zone. I'm definitely gonna figure out everything there is about it because I think it has gonna have a huge impact on mapping. It's gonna be very profitable, but of course this is just an assumption and that will need testing to be proven either right or wrong. As a quick thing I want to mention before we're going to take a look at the different tree stages that I'm going to be following. I am planning to be streaming on Twitch live on be planning on streaming on Twitch at league start for at least till Monday, and then based on how it went and based on how well I was to focus and progress, gonna be continuing, maybe be reducing a bit of time, maybe be increasing the time, but we will be seeing what I'm gonna be doing. And then once week 2 I plan to start streaming regularly, but again we have to see how it goes, if my computer can handle it or if it's gonna have issues again. Now, you are going to be interested in what I'm planning to do, so I will be showing that so you can follow along at your own pace. So, to get through my goal of a Headhunter very quickly, I have to do first progressing through the white and yellow tier maps. There are two approaches on that. There is a slower approach where you would be going for getting your map drop chance and then going for essences, making a decent amount of currency, getting your character stronger, and then force pushing the completion of maps. Or you could be going, what I'm going to be planning on doing, for a rendering path tree. So what I will be starting is I'm going straight up. I'm going to be taking Shaping the Mountains for a 15% chance to be a bit higher with the two nodes leading up to it. That's going to be a 25% chance. They are showing 10 because I already have rendering pass. Without it there would be 5. So it is 25% chance. And then I'm going to be rushing rendering path. After that, after I have it, the first orb of unmaking is going to respec Shaping the Mountains away again, and then I'll be taking up these two cubic mission chance nodes. What I'm hoping with these is that they should be able to smooth my mapping out quite a bit. They should allow me to have a decent amount of map completion, and whenever I run out of maps to run, I can do a cubic mission, resetting his shop to buy more maps, getting again more map completion, as well as getting more map progression because he's also going to be offering me some higher tier maps. Once we have this, the next step will be to get a 100% chance on mapping to be dropped a tier higher and a 100% chance on an adjacent map drop at least one every map. To do that, we're first going to be going left and first going to take these two higher map tier chance nodes, and then we're going to be up again on the left side and taking these nodes over Bold Undertaking. This will give us a 100% chance to maps to be dropped here higher, and Bold Undertaking is not impacting our build as we are not using Fortune Favors the Brave. We then be going to be using these adjacent map drop chance nodes until we have 100% on that as well. And then finally we can take a look at our first league mechanic we will be running. Now at this point we should be reaching red tier maps, so we are able to use Eldritch influence on our maps. I'm going to prioritize the Eldritch influence as following. First, we're going to be using the Eater of the Seeing Exarch. This is the first one I want to complete, and also the main one I want to use once I have everything completed. It's going to give us GCPs, which are going to be very important next league. It's going to give us Sextants, which are always going to be important. It gives Raw Chaos, it gives Warlocks, it gives Chisels, and it gives Scourings, I think, as well. So just overall great influence, definitely want to keep that. If I cannot run Seeing Exarch, I will be trying to run Eater of Worlds to progress him on the side. If I can run neither of those, then I'll be running Maven and going to progress her Maven missions, which is going to be the arena fight with the bosses. And again, if I can run Seeing Exarch, I definitely be running Seeing Exarch, as he is the one I think is going to be the best influence in week 1. Now, once I have this tree, I'm going to be going for my first league mechanic, which will be Expedition. The way I'm going to be handling Expedition early, despite being a cold conversion build, so there's one thing that can completely cancel my build out, is going to be the following. I'm going to be skipping Gwenin from the very beginning. I don't think there's a reason to run Gwenin. I never got lucky with her gambling, so I'm just not going to be doing her at all. And I'm gonna be doing rock only until I transition into my next strategy. So this is gonna be at some point day 1, a little bit into day 2 likely, where I'm just gonna have this atlas and I'm just going to be farming my map completion, and then I can farm a little bit of rock until I have the rare gear that I want. And once I have the rare gear I want, I'm going to also be skipping rock and just focusing on Dunnick and Tujen, which are gonna be the main profit makers here. So on my tree, once I have this, I'm not going to be picking up this Eldritch Influence until the very latest, so I'm going to be starting with these 3 Expedition Chance nodes. Once I have these, I can pick up Stream of Consciousness to make it more likely to have leak mechanics in my maps, as I'm not be using any Scarabs anytime soon. Then I can pick up another 24% chance for Expedition, and another 16% chance for Expedition over the dead Ancient Writing nodes. Now, I have the option to directly take Extreme Archaeology, but if my build at this point isn't strong enough for it yet, I'm first gonna be going for right, going to take the last Expedition nodes, and take the Eldritch Gateway to the left, to take the Seeing Exarch nodes, and if Breath of the Cosmos is too hard, I'm gonna be taking Word of the Exarch instead, making it a bit easier. And then, at the latest, then, I'm gonna be picking up the last Extreme Archaeology and the 2 nodes behind it, and that I will be farming for a bit. I'm gonna be needing 124 Atlas passive points, so this is gonna be all the basic Maven invitations. I think everything but the 10 Maven invitation, Maven herself, which I'm likely gonna be buying, then Uber Elder, which I'm likely gonna be buying, and then Quest Eater of Worlds and Quest Exarch, which I can run myself. Once I have those, once I have my 8 favorite slots, and once I have my 4 Void Stones, I'm gonna be transitioning to the next strategy. I'm gonna be adding a Legion to my expedition. Legion is just my favorite mapping mechanic, and this will be the strategy where I'm gonna be farming my Headhunter with. So now at this point I should be having the passive points, so I'm gonna be speccing out of Rendering Path, and I'm gonna be speccing into the 7th gate because Legion is not on the map device, and we want our Legion guaranteed on the map. So we're gonna be using this. Now, if I don't have enough currency yet to be affordable to Scarabs, I'm going to keep Stream of Consciousness for a bit. I'm going to be using the Hunt for Answers node, but going to spec out of the rest of the Expedition Chance nodes, and I'm going to be having my expeditions. Now, if my big expedition has cold conversion, and it's inevitable to take it up, I'm going to just skip the expedition, as I'm not investing anything in it. If it's too hard, I'm just going to skip it. But once I am able to run it, and if I'm able to run it, I will full clear it and I will get my gains from there. Once I am able to use Scarabs, I'm going to be dropping out of Stream of Consciousness, and then I will be also investing into Legion Scarabs, Expedition Scarabs. So for the blocking, I can block everything but Legion, and I should not be blocking Heist, because this is just going to be easy additional currency with not much selling. If I have an additional point, I can block Trade Embargo as well, because guaranteeing Expedition with Scarab, we can't have 2 expeditions in a map, so taking this node is going to be fine. We're then going to be picking up our Legion nodes, and then we have our Legion Expedition thread going. So we want as many Legions in our map, and we want to run the map as quick as possible. So we have 1 Legion, then we have a Legion Sextant, and we have a Legion Scarab, then we have an Expedition Scarab. Then we can also take the good old Packed with Energy mining byproducts combination, meaning we need to also use a Sulfite Scarab, and then whenever we run a big batch of maps, we can go to our Delve hideout and sell everything of our Azurite which we get from mining byproducts for 1 socket or 2 socket resonators, and sell those on trade to get the cost for those Sulfite Scarabs back again. Then, of course, we have all our other Legion nodes like Constant Battle, War Supplies, Emblematic, Pillage Treasures, and Logistical Support. Of course, I also have the nodes for Expedition like Burial Knowledge, Scratching Up the Ground, a Noble Quest, and of course now also Distinguished Demolished and Ancient Writing, which is now doing something for us. And we have Singular Focus, meaning that we're gonna favor all but 1 map on Legion Dunes. And then we're gonna have 1 favorite spot for whatever is the best adjacent map. Once we have this set up, we're gonna be farming for this for a while. This is where I'm gonna be farming my Headhunter with, and once I have farmed my Headhunter, once my build is upgraded and stronger, then I'm finally going to be testing Ultimatum. Now this tree will require everything but 1 point, so at this point I will have every invitation but fiat done. I have every map done, I have all favorite slots except the fiat done, and I will just be farming Ultimatum then. Now my build is hopefully strong enough for Ultimatum, but I don't think it will be strong enough for Grueling Gauntlet. This will be the last adjustment that I'm going to be making to the strategy. So I'm going to keep my Legion, I'm going to be keeping my Nico packed with energy mining byproducts combination. I'm going to be keeping my 7th gate to have my additional Legion. I'm just going to be replacing Expedition with Ultimatum. I'm going to get a feeling how Ultimatum feels, and I'm going to be trying to also get Brave the Tower and get my Ultimatum bosses, which likely going to be dropping the shield. Maybe I finally be able to get a Hate Forge, and it's also going to drop a lot of Catalyst, which at this point might still be worth something. So this is what I'm going to be farming at the end of week 1. I'm going to be testing Ultimatum on top of already Affliction, which I've been likely be testing the whole week. And I still going to keep my Legion because I love Legion. Now, past this, for week 2 and beyond, there's definitely the potential of magic finding which I want to try out. I don't know how good it will be. I think it's going to be pretty amazing, but we need to see how much Affliction is going to be affecting magic finding compared to normal mapping. How good the Vivid Wisps are going to be and how good the Wild Wisps are going to be. The Wild giving quantity and the Vivid giving currency rewards. Once that is figured out, I'm likely going to be magic finding for quite a bit. And after the magic finding, or if I'm not going to be magic finding, there are a lot of league mechanics that still need testing that I haven't added to my spreadsheet yet, as well as a lot of builds that got buffed, that got changed, the Transfigure Gems. There are so many builds I want to try, so next league is going to be a league I want to force myself to try many builds and many strategies, because I have one big goal past week 1, and that big goal is going to be 5 mirrors. I want to farm 5 mirrors with 5 different league mechanics. Now, one is likely going to be Legion or Ultimatum, and one is likely going to be magic finding, but if those aren't going to work out, I need to think about something, I need to figure something out, but I definitely want to force myself to play a lot next league. I want to force myself to farm these 5 mirrors and make amazing build guides. All that being said, if you have any questions about my league start plan or anything was unclear, feel free to make a comment, join my Discord, message me in the designated channel, or DM me over Discord and I will try to answer as quick as possible. That being said, have a wonderful day and I see you at league start.